Hey, Parlay, meet me at the apartment.
Yo, look, it's your boy Parlay, live from the apartments. But listen, this time, it's not a regular interview. My platform is not just not used for artists and, entrepreneurs to get stories out there to promote businesses. It's also for people to to use their voice so they can speak loudly. I feel like a lot of times in our community, when a lot of things go on, a lot of things get swept up on the rug because a lot of times people ain't have an avenue to use their voice on, for their voice to be louder. And when you don't have a lot of people who speak with you or stand on side of you or speak on your situation, a lot of time, a lot of things get brushed up on the rug or get pushed to the side. But this platform here is for anybody who has a story, who they feel like their story is getting pushed up on the rug, who wants to bring some attention to it. And today is a special day for me because this is my uncle. And this is a real situation. Anybody know me, everybody know that when it comes to the city of Atlanta, I stand on it and I stand up for it, especially with anything right or wrong going on. I feel like my character and who I am in the music business, in the streets, as a person, I think it's immaculate. And I feel like everybody who know me will say the same thing too. So I think I got a good judge of character, you know what I'm saying? So today on the show, I got Auntie Nita and her lawyer. And we're going to hear to talk about a case that's happened where the Deacon Johnny was killed by Atlanta police, and they ain't doing what they supposed to be doing, what we feel like they should be doing. Anytime a young black man does something to somebody, it could be something mild. It can be as mild as any misdemeanor. They come and get these young black kids like they done did real bad crimes. They come to your door about small stuff, disputes. They pulling up real fast. If you got domestic violence thing going on, they're so quick to take people to jail. But it's not always like that, and everybody always wonder why people from the projects, from the hood, people who come from low income communities always feel like this. You know what I'm saying? It's because we live it. We done seen it over and over and over and over again. And now, with everything going on, we just refuse to be quiet about this stuff. So, I'm going to let Nita speak for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And the floor yours, Nita. Let's talk to him.
Okay. So on August the 10th, my father was traffic routine. I mean, he had an accident that was minor with another driver. He was trying to just merely get his point across. He was saying that he wasn't at fault for the driver, just like the other driver said that he wasn't at fault. They both called the police. He waited over 2 hours. In the midst of waiting over the 2 hours, he had called me at least 3 times. But the last time that he called, which we've always had a pact, if you encounter polices, you're supposed to call, put somebody else on the other line so they can see what's happening or what's going on. For these purposes, we see too many tragic incidents that's happening every day. So that was our pact, and we did that, with the kids as well. So at this particular time, my father, called. One call was just to let me know he was in the accident. The next call was to let me know that he was still waiting on the police, which was even an hour later, but the police arrived. Once the police arrived, he was like, baby, they here. I'm going to go talk to them. And then next time I got another call, it was just to alert me that the police was there and that it wasn't right. And so at that point, he was just like, baby, and then he started to ask the police officer, so you really want me to say I did something that I didn't do or to admit to something that I didn't do? And then the police were very aggressive. I could hear my father, asking for the sergeant. I could hear the police being aggressive. And then he even went on to say, well, I don't care who you call, because at that point you could see my father even calling me, and he still, was very aggressive. And then after he asked my father to sign the ticket, he told him 3 times, I'll sign the ticket. But the narrative that the city put out there saying that my father was drunk, he was combative, he was aggressive. Now that the video has been released, you see that that wasn't the case. He was just trying to state his case. Like, listen, look at what happened to my truck, you know. And from the beginning of the video, the officer came on the scene already aggressive. It was like I didn't want to hear anything. It was just like, okay, I dealt with this. I'm gonna deal with this. You gonna get the ticket. You sign it. This is either you sign a ticket or you going to jail. Basically, that's what he was saying, you know. And then he went on. He started using profanity. Once he leg swept him and took him down to the ground, you know, my father kept telling him, "How can I sign a ticket? I'm right-handed. You know, how can I sign a ticket if you on me?" You know, but that's the narrative that he put out there. Of course, you know he's wearing the body cam, you know, so he keep using this as a way to make it seem as if he was right. And the way a lot of these comments are coming on Facebook and Instagram, they saying like he caused his own death. How? You can't cause your own death in that manner. He tried to sign a ticket, but he wasn't allowed to sign the ticket. And the narrative that they put out there, they have still to this day change it, and it's been over 3 months. You know, he shouldn't have lost his, I mean, he was able to drive his truck. He was still healthy and alive when he was talking to me. But as he was talking to me for those 17 minutes and 46 seconds, he was slowly dying. And as many times as he tased him, that was barbaric. It was no way that he's supposed to die on the streets of Atlanta.
How many times he tased him?
Well over 4 times.
About 4 times.
Yeah.
Tased him, he punched him. He
All of
punched
it.
him in the head.
He was tasing him so much to even on the video, he tased him in his face. And at one point, he just left the taser on him. Like, it was still going. Like it was still going. You know, he had no wind. And, of course, you know him. He been had asthma. Even when we all was in the house together, he's always had asthma. So, you know, and he was telling him that, like, my body hurt. I have asthma. I have asthma, chronic asthma. He was like, I can't breathe. He said that with about 15 times.
He said a lot of times.
You know, and he was asking for help. You know, and even after the police got there and they rolled him over, you know, even with this truck driver, you know, laying on his neck and sitting on him, he was never a threat to y'all at all. You 23. I have a 23-year-old. You know, TK. I named him after you, Teddy Bear.
Yep.
You know, he 23. And so that's what we, you know, it's like, it was horrific. Like not only did I have to witness him being killed, I had to listen to it. So, of course, when I got to the scene, I already knew. I was like, you killed my daddy. And even in that video, you could hear him say, oh, one of the children that came on the scene, go see how they doing. Like, you really just had no compassion for him, period. None of the other officers, they stood around. Nobody administered CPR. Nobody tried to help him. He was dead, and y'all still had him in handcuffs. He was still in handcuffs. The EMS lady was like, how long he been out? They was like about 5 minutes, which we counted. It was at least 11 to 12 minutes. And she had to ask you, take the handcuffs off him. He was dead. He still wasn't even no threat. But y'all still had him in handcuffs. And so the city, you know, they're not really fully taking accountability for that. It's like the narrative, y'all still haven't changed that. And that's pissing me off. That's pissing me off because I'm hurting every day. This is my new normal. You know, it's not like he got sick and, you know, he died and, you know, he passed away as if that's what they're saying. No, he was killed. Let's be clear. Let's be transparent. He was murdered.
All for a traffic ticket.
Right.
A traffic ticket.
A traffic ticket that he could have signed.
A traffic ticket.
And let me just say this third part about it. You still sent the damn traffic ticket in the mail.
I had to go down to court. We got the piece of paper when I went down to court.
Tell them your name so everybody knows you speak.
Yeah, I'm Mawali Davis with Davis Bozeman Johnson Law Firm. We've been practicing for 17 years as a firm. I've been practicing over 20 years. And so this, for me, is one of the most senseless civil rights cases that we've had, right? Every death is tragic, but this just didn't make any sense because we kept asking before they let us see the video, which was in September, before they let the family, and they only let 5 of them and our legal team see the video, we just was like, how did a minor accident end up with him dead? Nobody would say anything. I'm asking, you know, nobody could explain that. And then when we saw the video, that's when they lost it because they saw, oh, this is over a ticket? This is what he did to him? Deacon Hillman he didn't swing on him. He didn't even curse him. No. He never said a cuss word.
It wasn't even aggressive.
At all. All he was doing was trying to get his point across, like any grandfather type was like, hey, wait a minute now. And what we've been trying to explain, and this is what people got to understand, is that this is a 23-year-old black police officer. In any other place, I don't care where you are. I'm from the south side of Chicago. I don't care if you're from Chicago, Mississippi, Georgia. A 23-year-old and a 62-year-old in the black community, that man would have been showing him respect. He was calling him Unc, Pops.
Hey, you know what? You know what? And I can't tell I can never tell police what to do, but even in the sense of that, you know what? This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna write both of y'all a ticket. Let the court figure it out.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna write both of y'all a ticket. Or I ain't gonna write no ticket. I'm gonna just let the court figure out however it is to go. Cause as you saying too, like it's an elderly man. What are you doing all this forceful stuff for him for?
And
He ain't tried to run.
Nope, he couldn't
He
run.
ain't tried to do nothing.
And mind you, he was 2 minutes from his door. He could have easily went
He could
in the
walk
house,
home.
because mind you, he stopped to get his wife something to eat. So he could have took her the food in the house. He was right there. He just had to turn into the gate. Then initially, when he was still right there, Daddy never moved the truck. So he wanted them to see how it was positioned. And then at one point of the beginning of the video, he said, move the truck. So Daddy paused and just looked at him. He said, shit, it's already fucked up. Move it.
That's how he's talking.
That's how he talked to him.
Off the rip.
Off the rip.
Don't even know it's assessing. Always being judgmental.
And so when he brought the paper back, he gave the guy, he said, well, you can take this paper and sue his insurance company. He even told the young lady, nobody was hurt. You can take it if you want to sue him too, but he gonna get the ticket. So when you went over to him, you let them go. You was automatically at him for whatever reason. You was already aggressive with him. To me, it wasn't even no longer about signing the ticket. It was about your level of power.
Yeah.
You felt superior, and you wanted him to stand down. Even when you talk to him, lower your voice. Who you think you talking to like that? I ain't never let my children talk to you, and you know that. Nobody. None of y'all ever disrespected us. Period. We never played that. So it disturbs my spirit. So when I drove, I was going fast. You know, your mama taught me how to get that fast. Yeah. You know, your mama don't play. You know she don't play. And so I was driving fast for those 7 hours. I didn't care who got behind me, who was in. I was on my way. So when I get there, he already lifeless. He's dead. So I'm telling them he dead. You know, and everybody looking at me, and I'm asking. But the whole time, he was on the scene. And as I asked them, nobody would tell me or give me a straight answer. They was like, oh, I just got here. You know, we don't know. He's off the scene. But the whole time, he was there. And you knew what you had did. You know, because you could even see his mannerism in the video. At one point, you know, they say, shit, fuck. You know, him and the tow truck. Y'all knew y'all messed up. You knew you killed. You start to feel to see if he was breathing. You know, and then you had to tell a repeated lie to try to cover up what you had already done. And the thing about it is, the city still, to me, they not taking accountability for that. And that's not the way it should be. I done participated in a lot of marches. I done been out to help a lot of families. And I don't understand at this moment, we're still doing this to our own kind. That's the fucked up part about it. That's what I have the problem with it. Our own kind are killing us, all because they in a culture. As my attorney said, it's a police culture.
And that culture
Says, even though he was an elder in every other community in America, he could have went anywhere. He'd have been straight. But because that officer had on that uniform, he said, I ain't with our culture. I'm not with black culture. I'm with police culture. So police override blue over black all day. And that's how he dealt with him. When he's telling him, lower your voice, and he's all of that, even when he props him up on his leg, he's got the handcuffs on him. It's 11 minutes and 45 seconds that these officers, they walking around talking to each other, asking him, the 23-year-old, you okay? Here he is unconscious. They don't know whether he's breathing or not. They don't take the handcuffs off.
Excuse me, sir. How you doing? What's going on? You breathe and feel him, check his pulse, roll him over, nothing.
Even the officer, you just do the little, you know, the stern chest. Wake up. You done went out on me? Really? Like, that was so disrespectful and so hardening. You see what I'm saying? So my initial thoughts was like, you know, like, how you do this? You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm mad as hell. Like, this my daddy. You see what I'm saying? And then people was like, you know, what would you say to him? How would you feel? You know? And my whole thing is like, the same way we hurt, I want them to hurt. I want his mama to feel the way I feel. You 23, I got a 23-year-old. My daddy's oldest grandchild is 31 years old. She 31. We never allowed them to do that. And then even in that moment, as you were still disrespecting him, he still called you sir. He's 62. What the hell he look like calling you sir? He old enough to be your granddaddy. But he still showed you that level of respect. And even as he was slowly going, he was calling on Jesus. He was like, Jesus, 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 I can't breathe. he would like, help me. Even when he clenched onto him and held him, he would try, he said, help me. He said, get your hands off me.
And then punches.
He snatches his hand, the officer snatches his hand, punches him in the head. You know, I mean, it's the level of violence is just, that's why it's so important. You know, this, what y'all are doing right here and being able to share this with parts of our community that ain't gonna turn on channel this or channel that, but they gonna listen to you. They gonna hear your voice. They know who you are. You got a different kind of credibility. They need to know that we gotta get organized. We need folk to organize and be with organizations that's challenging this system, because this ain't nothing new. We done had so many of these cases, and the way they do it is all they gonna do is stonewall. They not gonna try to resolve nothing. They just gonna keep pushing. And I just said this a few minutes ago. I just said, now I think they done made a real big mistake in terms of this family and how this family has moved through this with strength, right? I mean, ain't no question that there's pain, but finding strength in your pain where you're saying, I'm gonna be at every march, I'm gonna be at every protest, anything that is being done in my father's name, I'm trying to be there. That's what the whole family has been doing. That's different. And what we gotta do is just continue to be there to support them and demand that this power structure, they gotta address us in a different kind of way. And that culture is rooted in racism and white supremacy. So this officer, the longer he is not prosecuted, all of the other folks are looking and saying, okay, I could do this over here on the west side. I could do this on the west side. Can't do it in Midtown. Can't do it in Buckhead.
Exactly.
But I could do this on the west side.
And do this in Chamblee.
No.
Yeah, no.
They were in the throne's throw of the Atlanta University Center. Just like, I mean, we represent the young people who they tased and terrorized back. So we represent the young man, and Chris Stewart, my man, represents the young lady. We still in litigation. That's been 3 years.
For no reason. So people can do that. So, and that's why I'm saying, that's why I don't like it, because I don't think nobody has a problem with rules of the law. It's when these people can do it and it ain't nothing done, and then we do it to the slightest, it's the most.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? You catch a kid with a nickel bag of weed, you give him a year.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Matthew get caught with 14 grams of powder and gets 2 weeks, a week. Like, this is what, and
Yes.
we,
He get put in rehab.
Yeah, he get put in
Yes,
rehab,
yes.
and you know, and I don't understand it, because, like I said, if it was something that we did, they're gonna be coming at us with malice. There's gonna be news clipping.
Yes.
They're gonna be on the news saying they did this.
But you would have already been arrested.
Yes.
And that's what I said. If the narrative was different, and it was on the other hand, and Daddy would have attacked him, and Daddy would have did something to him, or he would have ended up dead, then guess what? He'd have already been in jail.
Sure
He'd
would.
have damn near been trial, prosecuted and everything, and they would have seen to it that he would have been prosecuted to the fullest extent.
Sure would've.
So what's the difference now?
Yep.
What's the difference?
And when you look at
How policing is done in our community, you got to go to the Southern Center for Human Rights. They've been tracking this for the last year. They've been doing town halls. They've been tracking all of the. We are 100%. Black people are 100% of the cases that involve excessive force. We've about 52, 53% of the population, but 100%. So this we can say unequivocally, this don't happen to white folk in Atlanta. And Atlanta's supposed to be the black Mecca. It don't happen. I've been here 25 years, went to law school here. I've watched just continually under black administrations, it's still the same result where we can't figure out how do we stop the police that we pay. We pay for that taser. We pay for his uniform. We pay for every aspect of him being able to be employed, and he's gonna use all of that against an elder, and then ain't nobody gonna deal with it.
Well, ain't
We
nobody
ain't
gonna
going for
say
that.
nothing.
Yeah, we ain't standing
And that's
for
my
that.
whole thing. Like I'm telling them, I don't care how you do it or what you do. I just said, if you do it out of peace, but do something. Do what you feel you need to do. When you look at that video, how does it resonate with you? That could have easily been your father, your grandfather, your uncle, your brother. It could have been your mother, your sister.
If
It could have
somebody
been
pushed
something.
one of their granddaddy
Yes.
down at Walmart
Yes.
and he fell on the ground, he hit his head on the drink machine, they gonna have them people at your door like you did murder.
Yes, yes.
They're gonna watch the videotape, find out about you, put all the stuff up. You're gonna be home, you're gonna be taking kids to school, they're gonna pull up on you,
Yes.
cause a big scene at your house,
Yes.
they're gonna put you on the news. Oh, this man pushed the grandfather down at
Yes,
Walmart.
yes.
I'm telling you, I know it is.
But it's okay for this 23-year-old black cop.
Yeah.
And I was just telling them, I said, I've seen y'all charge people that have, brutalized and abused pets.
Yes.
Y'all have sent them through the ringer. That's a human being.
Yep.
So y'all telling me y'all got more respect and
For a
more
dog or a
concern
cat.
for an animal
Yep.
versus a human life. I just not understanding. And that's my take. And at this point we had 4 demands. Our demand was to make sure that he was terminated. Our demand was to make sure, that this video get released. Our demand is to make sure that he goes to jail and that he be prosecuted to the fullest extent. We've gotten 2 out of 4, and again, like, we talked about it. We claimed the victory for those 2. And, we thank Funny for, standing on her word, because she stood on her word. There's a lot of them that didn't stand on their word, and there's a lot of them that still have not come see me. And they said they would, and they would do right, and they know who they are. I ain't got to call them out, but they know. And the thing about it is, when you say something to families like that, you got to stand on your word, because that's all you got at the end of the day. And we are the ones that are putting y'all in office. We are the ones that are out here, marching, and we are the ones out here voting for y'all. But then at the same time, when it resonates with a family or when it resonates at home, it's like y'all shy away from it. But then you say, oh, I'm from the west side of Atlanta. Oh, I'm from the black community. How? When you're not standing up. Even when we went to City Hall, it was like we had to speak on that. You got to stand up and make a difference. And just like I said today, even on, the show I did today, I was like, if we don't stand for something, we'll fall for anything. And at some point, we got to take a stand. And that's why it was important for us to get this video out. So it wouldn't just be us painting this narrative, saying, okay, this is what our father was like, and this who he was. And, people going to say, well, they saying it because that's just their daddy. Or they saying it because that's just their loved one. But then when you watch the video, we wanted that to resonate with you. We wanted that to hit home, because you look at it and say, let me take, Johnny Holloman Sr. face off of it, and let me put my daddy face on this. How would I have felt about that?
And when we claim the victory of even getting the video released, because the video really, because the case is still an open case, she didn't even have to respond to the open records request, but she did largely because of the organizations that have been fighting and pushing and trying to make it happen. So they just been on it. That's it. Yeah.
Almost at 300,000.
And because that's what we need. We asked for it to get out. We asked people to share it so that the world can see what really happened, and they can't cover it up. We done had every organization. We done had the 10,000 Fearless. We done had NAACP. We done had My Vote is Hip Hop. Yeah, we had everybody, all those organizations coming together, marching with the family, supporting the family, and saying, release the video. So she released it. So now we got to move it. And then the rest of the world has to respond in a way that they have in these other cases outside of Atlanta. We'll march real heavy when it ain't happen here. But when it happen here, it's like we're afraid to confront the power structure. That's why we ain't tripping. We got to confront the power structure, because we living here. I'm marching for something that happened in other places, and we do that because we believe that an injustice anywhere is an injustice everywhere. But at the same time, we got to stand for the Georgia folk.
Yes,
Yeah, step hard to
exactly.
help.
Exactly.
Your background.
Because when you look at it, this is where the civil rights movement and all of that started. This is here in Atlanta. And people come here, they travel here, even with Dr. Martin Luther King, and, we think about Joseph E. Lowry and all of them, Jesse Jackson and, Al Sharpton, Jose Williams, we even had Miss Olame out there. She marched with us. Her husband, they was out there. So these people, they march for this. So we in Atlanta, we got to be one of the ones that's very, very structured and out, and we got to be boisterous. You know, we can't keep sitting by allowing this to happen to our people. And just like I keep telling them, once we get victory and once we get justice for my dad, we can get justice for so many others, because it's people that don't have this support. It's so many people that the time of statute of limited ran out on them, but we're still fighting. So when you see justice in this lifetime, you know that it can still happen.
It's possible.
Yeah,
It's possible. Concerned black clergy.
They've been Shannon Jones. They all have done something, and that's what Anitra has been saying: is do something. Like, don't just see it and then just go back to your day. Like, do something with it.
Yeah, shit, speak about it. Voice your opinion, do something. Then another thing, too, when it comes to the city, I'm tired of small victories, too.
Yes.
And I'm going to tell you what I mean when I say that. I feel like you spoke on Atlanta, I feel like Atlanta hires these black people just to do enough for us to keep at a certain place. All right, and that's what I call a small victory. Him losing his job and the first two things y'all demanded, them giving them then, are small victories to me, because he can still go to another county and be a police right now.
Sure.
So that fire shit, to me, that shit don't be. That's a okay. I don't want you to say that. Here you pacify. Oh, you want some candy? Okay, eat the candy and go upstairs. That's that. You know what I'm saying? Nah, we want them other two.
Yes.
So his ass can't work no more. He can't go get no other job. He's a felon now.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what I mean. And that's another thing too. I like to tell other people too. Like, we got to educate ourselves on how the system is.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So when they do things for us, we ain't sitting here looking at it like, oh yeah, no.
No, we
I
gotta
like
keep
it, yeah.
moving.
I see what y'all did. I see what y'all did.
You right.
You can't trick me, because I know.
That's right. That's
I
it.
see what you did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Nah, I don't know. I want everything.
Yes, right.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
that's why I'm still fighting. That's why I'm keep asking the people to continue to rally around us, continue to march, continue to do something, continue to let your voice be heard. You know, and I've even been talking, you know, to different people even in the industry, because I want it now. Because like I said, we've asked, you know, the organizers to, you know, organize some. The activists, they've come through. You know, the students have come through. They've done their march. You know, we have done our march. The Concerned Black Clergy has done our march. Now we're asking the hip-hop community, stand behind us, get behind this. You know, this was an Atlanta man. You know, he was a deacon at a church, but he was born and raised here in Atlanta. My dad had come up from Pool Creek to Bankhead Courts to Bourne Homes. You know, he's always been, you know, a part of the West Side. When you talk
Jonah
about,
always been super cool. Always, forever.
Yeah.
For
you know,
always,
and
forever.
that's just who he was, you know, and it's a lot of people disturbed about it. So that's why we've been reaching out, because at this point, now we're pushing to have him arrested. We're pushing to have this tow truck driver arrested. And we want them prosecuted. We want them indicted, for that was murder. I mean, it don't get no clearer than that.
With the tow truck driver.
You know, because he sat on his neck. He came in.
Got on
his neck, put his body weight on him.
And bragged about it.
And we don't understand, you know, he was like, ooh, I hadn't done this in 8 years.
Like, I still got it. Like, yeah, we did that. But when y'all rolled him over, he was gone. And you still bragged about it. And then when you realize that he wasn't breathing, it's like, oh shit. Now you puzzled. So when I tell people, don't just look at clips, look at the whole 54 minutes of that video. Yeah. And it's gonna play out. It's no way you needed to sit on his hand stretched out. Why did you come even sit? You supposed to be minding your business towing this black car. You ain't had no business over here. But because you got in this business, then you're a part of it too. And you don't look to be that much older than him, or if you wasn't his age.
Right. So.
And he still was begging y'all. And you still never administered no type of help. Y'all had no compassion for it at all. And so with that being said, I don't have no compassion. I want them jailed, I want them indicted, and I want them prosecuted. And again, yeah, we got those victories, and I feel the same way. But I still, you know, thank those that helped me get to that.
Those, for sure. No,
you
for
know
sure.
what I mean? And that's
Still
why I said
appreciate
we're funny. I appreciate you. You stood on your word, because you didn't have to do it because it's still an open investigation. But you gave me something. You know, you gave the people something that they wanted. You know, which was to release that video, to make it transparent.
No, for sure.
And that's what we've been hollering from the beginning, from the start. But that still ain't enough for me. That still ain't enough for my family. I don't sleep well, I don't eat well. I'm out here every single day since August the 10th. I've been on the front line. I've been going. And I need to see this all the way to the end. I need it to be finished, and I need the people to still make this make sense. Why is he still able to sit at home, eat his favorite meal, chill with his people? He was even still able to call his mama. I can't call my daddy. And the last phone call that he made to me for 17 minutes and 46 seconds, I had to hear him in distress, losing his life. What they think that mean to me? How they think that make me feel? And not only did I have to hear it, I had to witness it.
No, for sure. Lord, anything you want to say?
Man, we appreciate you. You know, I know y'all family.
Yeah, it's family.
We just appreciate leaning in this moment, because that's what we need. It's like we all got to be on this. So ain't nobody safe, right? My sons drive down that same street. My mama, 84 years old, live in Atlanta now. She drives down that same street. We got to make it right for all our people, and that's going to require all of us to do that. And so hip hop play a role. The music industry play a role. It's $1 billion industry right here that y'all created with your imagination, with your creativity. They gotta reckon with that, right? They gotta respond to that. You know, we ordinary folk, but y'all have created a whole thing that's drawing people from all over the world to Atlanta, not just to visit museums, but to come and be a part of this culture. They want to be a part of this culture. We gotta fix this other part of this culture that's killing us and getting away with it. And so we appreciate you, and we're gonna keep, we like this. We're gonna keep, everywhere it's going, we're gonna be on it. We're gonna keep pushing, we're gonna keep fighting. You know, it's time for lawsuits, all of that. It's unfortunate that we even have to file a lawsuit at this point, but okay, we gotta do what we gotta do. So that's it.
That's right.
That's it.
We're going to keep fighting.
That's right.
And that's what I think they used to. I think they used to people giving up and not fighting.
Laying
You know what
down,
I'm saying?
being
Yeah,
quiet.
laying
They
down.
You know, they like, you know, your lawyer talking about, this is my life. This is what we do. This is why we founded the firm. Our firm ain't based on Peachtree or West Peachtree. We on right down Candler Road on Flash Souls Parkway. We on the east side, so don't hold it against us. But we right there because we came out of big law firms and we said our people deserve what we done learn in these law schools, and let's put it on our block. So we don't have to go on nobody else's block. We can put it right here. Yeah, come right here.
Right here. You know, we ain't hard to find.
Fine, so let's go. Let's go.
And they treat you like family, and they do work for you. I must say that, because in these 3 months, we've been locked in. You know, we've been doing what we got to do. And that one time, you know, have they shied away? It's like I say, listen, we're going to do this, we're going to reach out, and they there, you see? And that's what we need. And a lot of people don't know that. They look like, oh, okay, she going to be all right. No, you know, it's a difference. You know, some lawyers just in it for the money, or some lawyers just in it for, you know, to gain recognition or fame. But that's not what they're about. You know, it's really about getting awareness out there and doing the right thing. You know, calling people out. You got to call a spade a spade. You know, we that's what we do.
For sure.
We ain't never been shy about that. And I think that's what a lot of people been resonating with me. You know, because it's like, you speak well, you know, you say, because that's what, we was raised on that. We got to speak out. We got to say something. We can't sit back and be silent about it. That's what we do. And I think now, you know, the city is starting to see it. Like, they thought it was going to go away. Nah, I ain't going nowhere. It ain't going to go away.
No,
I'm
it
going to
ain't
be
gonna
here. Y'all need to do y'all part.
It's going to get louder and louder.
Every time. Every time. Every time they try to play with me. Every time.
It's going to get louder and louder.
Most definitely.
For sure. Well, let's keep doing it, you know. Anything you need, I'm always here. I just seen the boys other day, too.
Oh, yeah.
Like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I seen Doug.
Yeah.
I don't know. I seen all them.
They
All them
behind
recruit.
it. And it's
They the crew
crazy
now.
because since Daddy been gone, because, you know, he had all of them down there. So they was all around. They were like, Granddad this, you know, so he have all of them, you know, even Doug. He still call him a Peanut. That's Peanut, that's Dougie Fresh, you know, that's their whole thing.
for
Like,
sure.
you know, that was his thing. And he still treat them all the same. And, you know, that was his baby. So, you know, but since this has happened, they all been locked in. You know, they stay together.
Yes, sir,
you know, they love on each other. And they have been there. I can't even separate them. You know, I still cook the same. You know, I have to cook in the big dishes. I still got to feed them. So even though they ain't in my house no more, I'm cooking in my house with us, and I send all the food there. So they ask it like, you cook? I see, Mama, I said, here y'all food. You know, because I love the connection they had, and I just thank Daddy for that because he kept us all together. You know, and he still instilled instilled that in them to want to be together. And again, they've been out at some of the marches and, you know, the rallies, they show up. They might not do a lot of speaking, but they're there, you know, and they feel that, you know, even with, you know, TK, you know, Teddy, he was just, you know, he couldn't stand the video. Once he seen what is, you know, it messed with him. You know, he left. Doug didn't even want to come in and see it at all, you know. Zay didn't want to see it. Q, he sat through it as much as he could. Now, Peanut was a trooper. He went through it the whole time, you know. And I think about that. My son, you know, he's sitting here fighting for our country, and y'all killing his granddaddy. Like, how make that make sense? And the day that he died, he actually supposed to be leaving the next day going to drill with Peanut down to the base in Hartwell, Georgia, to meet his sergeant, you know, because they had heard so much about him. They wanted to meet him. But then he had to call back and say, you know, my granddaddy can't come. They killed him.
Well, we're going to keep fighting, keep doing what we're doing. I love y'all for
I love you too.
Keep doing what you're doing and to keep being strong, keep speaking up, keep marching, keep moving. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm going to keep spreading the word.
Thank you.
I'm going to keep sharing it with people. And we're going to continue to use this platform for things like this. You know what I'm saying?
That's
like
right.
I always say, I'm for the people.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it's not enough of this.
That's right.
Coming from the hip-hop community, coming
right.
from this culture. I don't feel like people use their voice in the best way they can.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? But I think also it comes from fear of being alone. A lot of people scared to stand alone.
That's true.
I just been like that my whole life. I don't give a damn if you like me, if you don't like me.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna stop what I'm doing. But,
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But I think that with me standing up like this, y'all doing that thing, I think it's gonna resonate on way more forms than exactly what the message is about. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to be able to strengthen people. It's going to make other lawyers say, I want to stand more with my client. I want to, you know what I'm saying? It's going to make people say, I want to use my voice. You know what I'm saying? It's going to make people say, I want to reach out to other people, and maybe other people use their platform to start doing the same things. You know what I'm saying? Because I know it's a lot of things going out there, and I know everybody can't touch on everything all the time. You know what I'm saying? But if it's another platform doing their thing, at least we can cover grounds on some of the things like this, the injustice things, especially to stand up for the city, and especially with so much brutality, police brutality going on and just leaving it. And that's cases like this is where it really made me start even getting into activism, being an activist, doing stuff like that.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So me doing this is for me. This is easy for me. You know what I'm saying? And I think that I have learned all the information and got all the connections with people I have. You know what I'm saying? For me to be able to stand up in solidarity, you know what I'm saying, situations like this.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? To be able to have some knowledge, to be like, nah, and being able to be around some of the groups. I done marched with Greg a lot of times. So my dog Scotty done been on CNN a million times. Like I talk to Scotty every day, almost every other day. Like so. I'm in rooms with these people. I done march with these people. I done talk to these people. So that's why I people say, "What you do, Paul?" I'm an activist too, because you know I'm gonna stand on top of whatever going on.
Exactly. That's
so
right.
we're gonna keep stepping on it. So
That's
thank
right.
y'all, man.
Thank you.
You already know this your boy Parlay, man. And we in the apartment with Parlay. Meet me in the apartments.